Operatives.
Hey, I'm Landon, and in this video I'm going to give you an overview of all the blocks in the operators category. The first block is the addition block. This takes two values and returns the sum. For example, if I put in 2 plus 2, that will return 4. Similarly, we also have the subtraction, multiplication, and division blocks, which all do something pretty similar. Next, we have the pick random block, which picks a random number between two values, in this case 1 and 10, so it picks a random number between 1 and 10. It looks something like this. Next, we have the greater than block. This returns true if the first value is greater than the second value. For example, if I were to put in 70, that will return true because 70 is greater than 50. Otherwise, it will return false. For example, if I were to put in 30. Next, we have the less than block. This will return true if the first value is less than the second value. For example, if I were to put in 30, that will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. For example, if I were to put in 70. Next, we have the equal to block. This will only return true if both values are the same. So, for example, if I were to put 2 in the first slot and 2 in the second slot, that will return true because they are both the same. But if I were to put 1 in the first slot, then they are not equal, and that will mean it will return false. You can also use this for characters and strings. For example, if I put in code ninjas in the first slot and code ninjas in the second slot, then they are the same and it will return true. Next, we have the AND operator. This will only return true if both inputs are true. For example, if I put in if 30 is greater than 50, which is false, so both of them need to be true for AND to return true collectively. For example, if this is 60, 60 is greater than 50, and 70 is not less than 50, so let's make this 20. So then it will return true collectively because both of these equations are true. But if I were to make this one false by making this less than 50, then it will return false collectively. Even though this one is true, and makes it false collectively because one of them is not true. Next we have OR, which is pretty similar to AND but different. I'll show you. So basically, first, the main difference is that they do not both need to be true. Only one needs to be true for it to be true collectively, but if both of them are false, then it is collectively false, just like that. Next we have NOT, which what this basically does is see how this is false. If I put it in the NOT, then it flips it and it makes it true. Next we have join. What this basically does is it takes two strings or two characters and it joins them together. So it takes apple and a banana and it makes it apple banana. Next we have letter of. What this does is it goes into the string apple and it grabs the first letter or the letter at the index 1 and it returns it. And so that would be A. We can also get the last letter, which is at index 5, and that would be E. Next, we can get the length of a string by using this block here, length of, and since apple is 5 characters long, it returns 5. Next, we can use this block, contains, and this will return true or false whether or not a certain character is in a string. So A is in the string apple, so this returns true. But for example, if I were to put in Z, then Z is not in apple, so it returns false. Mod returns the remainder of a division equation. For example, if I put in 10 divided by 3, the remainder is 1, and that is what we get. Next, round. This will round a decimal to the nearest integer. For example, if I were to put in 0 or 1.8, then it will round it up to 2. Then our last block is quite a complicated block. It comes with all of these different mathematical functions that you can use in your program. I will demonstrate ceil. This is like round, but it will always round it up. For example, if I do 1.1, then of course the nearest integer is 1, but it will round it up to 2. And that will wrap up our video on all the blocks in the operator category. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful and informative. Thank you.